I
get my
can't
guys
do
out there.
August 12th.
Perfect. Well, what day works for you? I'll make any day work for you. August 13th. I got August 13th available for you. All right.
What time?
This is.
Do you do a clap before you?
No.
We need a clapper.
I don't know.
It helps with the syncing process in post.
Do you need that? She's so good. She didn't even need it.
Wow.
See?
Good for her.
Well, like I said, save us from ourselves. MooseCast episode 3. Hi, I'm hot and sweaty. This is Miss Cindy.
Hello.
I'm a project manager here. I have been for the first 2 episodes, believe it or not. And she is the social media guru, the overlord of everything media with Moose. And we actually have a guest today, don't we?
Hello.
This is Andrew, everyone. Please introduce yourself.
Well, didn't you just introduce me?
Oh, yeah. Pretend I didn't say
I'm
that.
Andrew.
This is Andrew, everybody. Now introduce yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am the production manager here at Moose, so thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to have a good conversation.
So yeah, for episode 3, we're wanting to delve into the different aspects of the process, because we've gone into, okay, what is being roof ready for the customer perspective? What is, the first part of even before the filing of a claim here? What does the inspection look like? So Andrew, being the production manager, production coordinator, he's going to be the person you speak to after you end up signing the contract, and he's going to be calling you within 3 to 5 days from then, right?
Yep.
And then whenever you get that call, what does that look like? Whenever you end up giving a homeowner a call, they've signed on the dotted line, they've got their colors picked out, they've got their gutter color picked out, they know exactly where, not where everything's going to go, but what does that conversation look like?
Yeah, so I mean, once it comes on to the production board, I give it a few days just to make sure that all of the loose ends are tied up. Making sure that checks are coming in and they're clear and stuff like that. Just the basic things to just make sure the business can run properly. So once we've got all of that, I look at my calendar and I try to kind of organize based off of location. Like if I've got a guy already in an area, I could give him another roof to support and manage and supervise, so that way we can help as many customers as possible in a short amount of time. We've had a lot of hailstorms recently, and so, I don't want to have customers waiting 2 months for us to fix their roof. And so sometimes that means that you've got a technician that's jumping back and forth. So, for me, I pick a date that's, relatively around other locations, and sometimes I pick based off of the technician that's available, right? We've got technicians of different expertise and levels, and who have experienced, we've got Jeremy, who's done a lot of steel stuff, so he's really good with the steel stuff, and so any more complex related things, I like to give it to Jeremy, so that way the customer gets the best kind of experience. So
Jeremy's our other production roofing guru. Hi, Jeremy.
Correct.
We all love Jeremy. He's great.
He's been roofing for 17 years.
Yeah.
He's a boss.
He's a whiz, man. He's a whiz. But from the, so we had talked about in the prior episodes, the preparedness for the customer side of things, and we went over the document, and what is the Be Roof Ready document, right? So from your perspective, when it comes to the preparedness side of the installation, what is going to be the biggest thing for you that you have to really drill into a lot of homeowners that this needs to be done?
Yeah. So, I mean, the most common things is driveway availability, right? So when our supplies get delivered, our supply vehicles are large trucks. They obviously don't want to damage your vehicle. And most of our suppliers are able to load the materials up on a roof, right? So they've got this elevator crane thing that they put up there, but it's attached to a large truck, so we need vehicles out of the way. And when our crew comes during the production, they bring a dump trailer with them, and so they usually park that in front of the garage, so that way they can take all of the materials that are the old materials and throw them into the dump trailer. So if your vehicle is in the garage and we put a trailer there, becomes very difficult for you to obviously leave, but then it becomes a process for us to connect back to the trailer and move it, and then any nails that are on the ground. And so a process where, unfortunately, for those first couple of days that you just have to park on the street, but it saves so much time and hassle.
Yeah.
And then, keeping your yard clean. If you have dogs, keeping it clean, right? If we really don't want our guys having to track bits and gurus, bits and nice landmines. There we go. Thank you. I'm trying to say it in a nice professional way.
I've already broken the S word bomb here.
Yeah,
She's got. I don't want to give her any extra work
shit
though.
Being spread around everywhere.
Exactly.
So it's just out of care for the property and for guys.
I went over that with a homeowner today. Actually, I got them signed up, and they actually asked me. I'm like, okay. They were like, what do I need to do before they get here? Which is a rare thing for people to ask, but they had that forethought, and they asked, "Is it like best if I'm not here?" When people say that, like, I'm like, okay, if you want to take a staycation in Omaha, go right ahead, baby girl. No one's gonna stop you there.
Right? I mean, it depends, because like, it's great to have a homeowner there, so that way if there's any questions or updates that we want to give to the homeowner, like, you're there. I'd say where you are is not as big of a deal as the stuff inside of your house. So we're doing construction. We're hammering away. We've got 10 guys up on the roof just walking around. One of the most common things that we hear from customers is, oh, I had a painting fall off my roof, or I have cracks on my ceiling. Stuff like that is going to happen, and those are things that I identify as unavoidable damages. Those are things that is part of the construction process. So anything that you want to protect and keep safe, take it off a wall, take it off of a shelf that potentially could fall off of, right? We want you to keep your stuff safe, because your house is going to shake. You can't have a bunch of guys on your roof without it moving and shaking a little bit. So, and unfortunately, if you've got an older house, cracking on ceilings is a very common thing. And so be prepared with having to bring a drywaller out and fixing it and getting that taken care of, because we're roofers.
Yeah, and I anytime that I see, there are some people who go picture crazy in their homes. I don't know if you're one of them.
My mom is.
Really?
It's insane.
The entire wall is just picture frames at that point. And I had a homeowner today that I signed up that I warned them. I'm like, if you could take them off and just lean them against the wall right where they are on the ground, probably going to be the best idea, because you got to consider nail guns going off, shovels scraping these existing shingles off, banging the gutters off the side of the house. It's going to shake the home. Is it always going to crack something? No. Is it always going to cause any actual damage? No. Is paint going to normally come off at some point? Probably, I would say. That's probably going to be a common thing. But look, there's some things that you can do to prepare to avoid the possible inevitability of, like I said, something falling off your wall here.
Yeah,
so
you probably have a greater chance of winning the lottery than any of these things that I'm pointing out being an issue for you. I think we've only had maybe 3 customers this year that have had something similar to that happen out of the however many hundreds that we've had. So very, very rare that something's going to happen. But to one of you who's potentially going to be a new customer of ours, it may happen to you. That 1% chance that it happens, it may happen to you. So, that's why we have insurance. Everything like that. It's just protect yourself with as much as possible. So.
Yeah. You're gonna have an entire crew doing major surgery on your home here. So, yeah, the more prepared you are, the better. And that's once again part of that first conversation that you have with them is saying, hey, where are we gonna put the materials, like you were going through before? But when it comes to the timeline, what really determines the length of time that it takes to get a roof and a gutter job done? Of course, the size of the roof, right? But is there anything else that you really take into account?
Yeah. So size of a roof, complexity of a roof, right? A roof that has 2 facets and up and over versus a roof that has 37 facets.
When you say facets, what do you mean?
Facets are different faces of a roof. So hips and stuff like that. I don't know how to explain it better than that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to John Madden this.
I just know the word. And
right.
It makes sense.
Like it gets hard to John Madden this for people, for myself, because like I hear facet and everything, I'm like, I say John Madden because he would explain things down to the very base. Like, now here's a guy that when he runs, he goes faster, kind of thing. But for customers out there, a facet is like a slope essentially. But the more cuts in your roof,
Yep.
the more angles and the more complex your roof is, the longer it's going to take. And
I mean, that's you said it well, and that like there's a huge giant list of it. Like the type of material. Right?
Yeah.
If you have a shingle or steel or material that's a little bit more difficult to work with because it's a better quality material, it takes a little bit longer. Heat, right? Weather is a huge one. Right now, summertime, it gets almost 100 degrees. Our crews work a little bit slower. So even a medium-sized home may take more days because it's just so hot and they need to take more breaks. Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that go into play, and half of them are things we can't control. So we find out the day of that it's like, oof, it's going to take us a little bit longer to do this than we thought it was. So.
Yeah. So Cindy,
Mm-hmm.
can you do me a favor?
What's the favor?
You love the call role play.
Oh, no.
So I want you to do something for me.
I've heard so much from it.
Yeah. So can you be a customer? And I want you to call Andrew.
Why would she be calling me?
Because you're going to be the one talking her through
setting
up
am I the
her
customer,
job.
Or?
No, she's the customer.
Well, I'd be calling the customer. Though.
No. Is that
I called the customer.
You're right. This is how this works. So if anything.
Okay,
I'm
going to call
nervous.
her. I'm going to call her.
I'm nervous.
Or vice versa. Do you want her to be the production manager and me to be the customer?
I honestly would love for that to be the case because I think it'd be funnier. But just to make sure we're doing this honestly here, call Cindy the customer and guide her through this one.
All right. Rain, rain. Rain, rain.
Hello, this is Cindy.
I'm sorry, I can't talk.
Don't do that. Don't do that to her.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Hey, Cindy, this is Andrew with Moose Roofing. How are you doing?
Oh, it's going.
It's going. That's what I like to hear. Hey, I heard that you and Danny got things kind of figured out, and I'm just here and calling you to schedule your re-roof, just for us to come out and get your roof and gutters taken care of. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Perfect. Well, I've got August 12th available for me to get my guys out there.
August 12th.
Perfect. Well, what day works for you? I'll make any day work for you. August 13th. I got August 13th available for you. All right.
What time?
We get there bright and early at 6 a.m. So, yeah, you may not be able to sleep in that day, Cindy, but...
Actually, I'm a heavy sleeper, so...
Heavy sleeper? Yeah. Okay, well, we'll put that to the test. We'll see how heavy you sleep, all right? For sure. Well, the other thing is, I'm going to get materials out to your house on the 12th. Is there a place of the driveway that you prefer that we put materials on?
A place on the driveway?
Yeah, you got a 3-stall garage.
Oh, yeah,
so
it's 4, actually.
It's 4? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't see the one on the side. So, do you have a preference of where we put them? I think our supplier can put most of them on the roof, but there's going to be some extras that they have to put on the ground. Do you have a
maybe in front of the 4th garage.
4th garage?
Yeah, right in front.
Okay, perfect. Well, I bet that's probably where you keep your Aston Martin, and so probably don't want to be driving out as much out in these heats and conditions. The
Maserati and all that.
Maserati, okay, perfect.
Nah, more like Mazda.
Hey, so I noticed that you got a couple of skylights on your roof, and I just wanted you to be prepared for when we take those off. There might be some cracks in your drywall, so I just want you to have potentially some paint prepared. Our guys are not trained to do any interior work. Okay. So I just want you to be very aware that when we're doing that, we're going to do our best, do as carefully as possible, but there is a likelihood that you might have some cracking and some paint or caulking that needs to be done on the inside. So whether you sound like a capable person, Sydney, but if just want to make sure that you get your ducks in an order. Does that make sense?
Yes. I gotta make sure my $1 million painting is off the wall then.
Yes, yeah. So I'm going to be sending you a Be Roof Ready document. It's going to include the technician that's going to be your main point of contact on that day, and it's going to have a list of things that you could have prepared and ready to go. So I'll be sending that to your email, and then I'll be in touch with you probably a couple days before to just make sure that everything is good and you're ready for the roof. Is there any questions that you had for me at all?
Yeah, what if I can't read?
Well, I've got Danny here who just passed his reading comprehension skills, and he would love to come out there and actually read it for you to make sure that we get you taken care of, because that's the Moose way.
Is there an audio version of it?
I will actually, our media department, Cindy, is same name, right? So she's very capable of actually just recording Danny reading that in a very nice, soothing tone. so we can go ahead and send that to you just to
Okay.
make sure that you are fully prepared. So,
Okay.
is there anything else I could do for you?
I
Okay,
got it all.
perfect. Well, we will see you on the 13th. You have yourself a good weekend.
Thanks, you too. Ding.
That was beautiful. I like how you guys actually held the phones up.
know, right?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was I
the
was actually
entire
waiting
time.
for him to put it down so I
So
could
you
put
could.
it down.
It was.
Yeah,
You guys played a game of chicken.
I
until
told
then?
you, I'm improv. I'm really good. I get into it.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I got you with the I can't. What if I can't
Yeah,
read
right.
though?
Method acting.
The deep breath.
I hope none of our customers get offended by
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
who
so-
knows?
All right. Let's get to know you, I guess.
who's you. Sydney?
You.
Me? Oh, okay.
They already
So
know me.
you
I'm sorry, guys.
you ended up coming because I was not really much into the roofing business before I came into the state of Nebraska. So I've been here, roughly like 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came from a different company, insert company name here.
Like, do this that face that because they're not that good of a company.
I don't know. They're all not Moose. I'm so sorry for
No.
that though.
Not moose.
So in your experience, did you start off kind of being on the production side and kind of stick with that? Or-
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've never really done the sales side of things.
Mhm.
The project manager aspect of it.
Mhm.
I've just been really good with the working with my hands and actually knowing how something is put together. So,
Mhm.
the very first job I had in construction was being a actual technician supervisor out in the field. So getting on the roof and making sure that it's done the right way and
Mhm.
working with customers the day of the job. So I'm lucky enough now to have enough experience that they trusted me to manage other technicians and be the manager here. So taking all of that knowledge and experience that I got from other companies and then bringing that here to Moose to make sure that we got everybody properly trained and educated and ready to perform.
And so you started out because now, folks, you're not here in the office. He doesn't really do anything other than sit behind a desk and then flip me the bird as I walk by.
I am covered in insulation today because I went up into an attic.
That's a
Picture
first.
didn't happen.
So one of the things that I like to do as a manager is every Friday I get all the production guys and we go and we do a job instead of a crew. So we
Okay.
do a job ourselves
There
and
we
we
go.
go out. And so today we went up in the attic, installed some baffles.
Hey,
And
wait, you fit everybody in an attic today?
Yeah, of course.
That's
So-
Well,
insane.
Bill, but we didn't make.
I was
Bill
about to
go
say,
in there.
did we
Bill-
grease up Bill to get him
Yeah,
up there?
Bill got onto the roof to fix the ridge
Hi,
vent,
Bill.
But hey, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
But me and Jeremy went up into an attic to do the baffles and get some tubing for a Brown vent. And so,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, I like to get out there and just make sure that we're just doing constant weekly training and
Mhm.
education. And I want to be there with them, right? I
Yeah.
can't do a lot of that behind a desk. So
Yeah. You do spend a lot of time behind the desk, though. I'm
I
gonna
do,
point that
yeah.
out. Yeah.
I do.
I feel
yeah.
that.
I do. A lot of problem solving requires a desk.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm still trying to just give you like a small amount of.
Isn't your truck basically just a moving desk?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
so-
I actually do call it my mobile office.
That's actually a good way to look at it too.
No.
Yeah.
What a mobile desk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Like
much time
the
do you
truck
actually
is being-
spend outside? Like, I'll go outside into the lot and make a circle around the vehicles. Like, is that
I'll
kind of-
walk outside every
Yeah.
now and then. Yeah. My red bald spot feels for you. That being said,
Who's
though,
Tanner, man? Who's Tanner? I got some darkness going on. Man.
I'm freshly like you can see my
I don't
my
even
ring
wanna
fell
compare
off.
to
I'm
Sydney,
full
like, yeah.
melanin.
Melanin. I like that melanin.
My southern comes out here and there.
Yeah.
Melanin.
But you're from here. Never mind. So in our we had a test episode of this whole thing that no one here is ever going to say sorry. And I talked about like a weird experience or one of the weirdest experiences that I had on the roof.
Mhm.
Do you have one of those?
Weird experience. I've got some stories I could tell.
Okay.
I don't know how you define it as weird.
Well, I would say
What's the definition of
Unexpected.
weird?
a weird, unexpected. Granted, if you were doing anything that wasn't quite safe or anything, let's not discuss that.
Oh
Wow.
no. I had we were doing a job in Nebraska City,
Mhm.
and we had our gutter crew come out, and they were measuring the run of gutters. And the guy was I knew him actually back from my old previous company that I worked with. So he went also from that previous company to now working for Moose, which is interesting. So we were talking back and forth, and he wasn't paying attention to where he was walking. So he was just walking along the roof trying to measure with his 100-foot tape, and then just nonchalant, like just imagine the most nonchalant, like Wile E. Coyote style, like just walked right off the roof and just fell. And he fell. It was one story. So he fell, he landed, he jumped up. He was like, nice. And then ran up the ladder. And then the first thing he said, because he looked at me and I was like, are you okay? And he was like, the first thing he's like, nah, man, I'm loco. So it's all good.
Wow.
Yeah. And he just went back to measuring his thing like it was nothing.
Okay.
Fell off a roof, got up, said he was loco, kept on going.
Unfazed.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What a king.
I probably would have had to take a week off of work if I fell off a roof. So like,
Was he
I'm
tall?
just not as yeah, he was tall. Yeah.
Mhm.
So he didn't have much like difference, but still, it was like he didn't seem like it was the first time he's fallen off a roof. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing I haven't done yet. I've had a few close calls, but I have not fallen off of a roof yet. I wonder how many people here have fallen off of a roof.
I've never fallen off a roof. I've been on over 500 roofs and I have not fallen off of one.
I wonder how many I've been on. I've been on a lot of
You've
roofs
probably
though.
been on a lot now.
Yeah. But yeah, have you ever ran into like active raccoons
Oh
like
dear.
on a roof or in an attic or
I haven't ran into raccoons. We've done bats. We've got wasps in like every other house. Honestly,
that's
nowadays.
an interesting
Like,
thing too, because bats have their own, like you've got to have a hazmat
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
out there.
Oh yeah.
How does that, do you know how that process works?
Well, you
with
got
bats?
so you have to call in like an animal rescue like exterminator basically because they have to come out and remove the bat. So in situations like that, you could still go with the process.
Mhm.
You just can't kill the bat. You get
Of course.
and you get
So they,
fined.
like,
legal trouble.
relocate
Yeah.
it.
So at some point somebody's gonna have to go out there. Not me, because
Yeah.
he's gonna have to go out there and relocate the bat. So and then at that point, my job becomes well, how did the bat get in there in the first place,
Mhm.
right? So
Which they can squeeze
Which
through
is
like
funny.
spaces like this big.
yeah, this happened on a job that we did last year, and the guy that they had come out to like get the bat was like going on the roof trying to tell them like, oh, it's like a roof, and like they didn't install the flashing correctly, so the bat's getting underneath this, and then I go, and first thing I see is that they don't have a cap on their chimney.
That will do it.
So, which a cap without a fence on it means that there's an opening for any animal to get into. And the fact that he was trying to blame the roofing company,
Oh
because
goodness.
he's like, I don't remember having installed flashing like this. And I'm like, have you ever done roofing? He's like, no. He's like, so then why would you remember such a crazy thing?
Right. And you're talking about like at the top of the chimney itself,
Yep.
wherever the opening is. I'm from the South, so we call it chicken wire. So like it's like this little wire,
Yep.
mesh essentially that goes over your chimney to prevent critters from getting in. That's one thing I always look for as well whenever I'm on a roof. If anybody has any skittering in their
Mhm.
drywall above their head there. But Cindy, do you want to cut to an ad?
Yeah.
I hate
I think
ads. Why
it's
do we
time
have
for a
ads?
break.
We do have a sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it me?
This podcast is brought to you by Moose Roofing. It is a Moose Roofing podcast, so this is kind of a no-brainer. But if you need your roof checked out, if you got spots on the ceiling, if you have a recent hailstorm, if you have a recent windstorm, if you have a leak anywhere in any way, shape, form, or fashion, please call an expert, preferably Moose Roofing. Smooches love you. Bye. So the happenings here at Moose.
Mhm.
We recently had what we call a Moose Soup, where we all go out and have a grand old time doing something somewhere. This time we went to, what park was that?
Walnut Grove, one
Walnut
of my
Grove.
favorite parks. Actually, it's my favorite park in Omaha.
Really?
Yeah, it reminds me of home.
Oh, you're from Grand Island.
Grand Island.
Grand Island.
My wife and I
They speak
actually
country down there.
at 5 o'clock in the morning. My wife and I go and walk Walnut Grove to get some
Every
steps
day?
in. Yeah.
Some dedication.
You don't have. Do you have to drive there, or do you live right there?
Well, yeah, I drive because it's like a 7-minute drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And everything in Omaha is less than 20 minutes away
Yeah.
anyway.
But
Yeah, we went out there,
It's nice
had a big grill out, a grand old time. Ended up, what was it? We had barbecue from
Hog Wild.
Porky butt.
Porky Butt. It was Porky
That was
Butts.
actually my first time trying Porky
Yeah,
Butts.
then- yeah.
I've DoorDashed that place so many times.
Since then?
No, back
Oh.
then. Like prior to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, working at Moose.
Why
There you
aren't they
go.
sponsoring this? We bought. a bunch
Maybe
of food
they
from them.
are now.
Yeah. Right.
Are they local? I've never heard of them until I moved to Omaha.
Yeah. For what reason? I thought we were doing Hog Wild. So I've been telling people we did Hog Wild. So I've been
Yeah.
lying to every single person that I've been talking to. So I apologize.
You know what? We screwed up too, Cindy, because we're not doing a food thing this time. We should
Yeah.
do a food thing every week. Like every week.
Every week?
I think so.
Like what?
I don't know. We did the pupusa thing last week,
Oh,
right?
yeah. That was crazy. Because we had the family event right after.
Right after.
And we were all just hungry, but I'm sure we kind
Yeah.
of like messed up our appetite for that.
Definitely.
So did you? Was there supposed to be snacks for this?
we
that I'm
we
not-
thought about it.
We thought about it.
And
I
then
didn't
we-
eat lunch because I wanted to come do this. What?
We actually.
Am I your first guest? Is
That's
this your
weird
first time
I
doing
This
thought
is
this?
I saw
actually the
you
first
grab
time, yeah.
food earlier.
What? I didn't.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't me. I've been gone all day.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I was thinking
always
of somebody
breezes
else.
lunch.
That's okay.
Anyway,
That's
move
okay.
on.
I won't judge too harshly until I see the next guest and you bring food to them, and then I'm gonna be upset.
So honestly, the next
Awkward.
time we bring food, though, hang on. So the next time we bring food, we'll bring you in here because just watch the previous episode and you'll know why I'm not going to
Yeah,
give that
we'll
away.
be a bit more organized this
Or
time.
bring me in so I could watch you guys eat. Is that how cruel you
no,
are?
No, you're gonna
No,
be
just-
on the other side of the camera eating with us.
Don't
Oh,
eat
okay.
lunch.
Don't eat
Yeah,
lunch.
don't eat
Okay.
lunch. Next Friday, don't eat lunch.
Next Friday.
But we did the pupusa thing. Do you want to do that again? Where we do like a bracket because the place you picked won the last one, right?
Do you remember what it was called? El Torogos.
Right.
El Torogos.
Okay.
El Torogos.
El Torogos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, El Totoro. Something.
Close.
Close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
El Torogos.
El
Yeah,
Torogos.
yeah.
Know what it is.
That was
Which
nowhere
actually,
near.
I have a keychain from that place. Apparently, I went to it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
With that.
So we'll hold that as the winner from the last bout, and then we'll do two more that you know of because you said your brother gave you some
Mm-hmm.
suggestions.
Well, quick question. Do you like pupusas?
I've never heard of it. You're just saying a word that I don't think was
Did
ever
you watch?
invented.
Oh wait, I
so-
guess he hasn't seen the episode yet.
No, I guess
So
not.
technically, it's kind of like I hate using this word because it hurts me inside. A quesadilla. It's not a quesadilla. It's a corn flour tortilla, and it
Okay.
has like different flavorings inside. So you can have like bean, pork, mozzarella cheese, loroco, which is like a green plant. It's pretty good.
Chicharron.
And chicharron.
So is it like a hard shell flour? Or?
Mm-mm. It's soft.
Mm-mm.
And then you like pour. You could pour the sauce on it, or you could just dip it.
I'm a dipper.
And most of the time, the sauces are very spicy. So
Little dipper, big dipper.
yeah.
I can disclose that information.
Okay.
So that's
have you
basically what it is.
have you ever tried pierogies?
No.
I'm
You're talking to a Polish man, so
have you?
of course.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
That'll be my first.
I was
time.
born in Ukraine, and
Uh-huh.
so I'm Russian. So I've tried a lot of Russian
Perogies.
dishes. Yeah,
So what's a
pierogies are-
pierogi?
It's like my
It's a
favorite.
Russian. I like to call it a Russian gyoza. Have you had
Ooh,
gyoza?
gyozas are good.
So on the other side of that, the Polish version is kind of like it's a ravioli, but you can just stuff whatever you
Mhm.
want to in it,
Oh.
like
much, yeah.
cheesy mashed potatoes and chives in a ravioli.
It's a
kinda deal.
ravioli in the shape of a gyoza.
Yeah, that's a more
Oh.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have
Sounds
to do
good.
that one time.
It is. Yeah.
We'll bring you in for that one because
That
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know where to get decent pierogies around here. I've heard of one place called the Belvedere. Is that a?
I make my own, man.
Okay.
You can get them from my house.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, you bring yours in, and then I'll find a place that gets them, and then we'll.
compare.
and we'll do a blind taste
I'm a
test.
chef. Me and my wife like to cook together. So
All right. But So back to the pupusa thing. I say
Okay.
we bring in 2 more from the other 2 places. I'll go pick up. You go pick up the other, and then we'll do the
So
thing.
you're trying to figure out where the best papusa is?
Yes,
Is that the
because they're
goal?
great.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Honestly, there's one back home that's like tops all of.
Do you guys have like a
the
chart
places
that
here?
you're doing or like?
No.
No,
I
no.
would recommend doing that.
This
You
is
can get
actually,
the
like, on the
different
spot.
names. See, but you can get the different names and then like
Uh-huh.
and like
Mhm.
like a bracket, like a March Madness.
No, we're
bracket.
we're just foodies. We're like,
Yeah,
you
we
go
just want an
get
excuse
food,
to eat
I'll go
food
get
at
food,
work.
and let's eat.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
But to come back around, we got sidetracked like we're known to do. We ended up having the moose soup at the Walnut Grove Park. Had Porky Butts. They're a sponsor now. Hi, Porky Butts. And at this point, we had a bunch of yard games. One was too complicated for us to set up, so we just didn't. We just threw bags around and played cornhole and threw a frisbee around.
Yeah.
Met some people from met families. You weren't there.
Me?
Were you?
I was
you were
there.
there.
Yeah,
I was
he was
100% there. Yeah.
You were there. I thought I dreamt you there.
It was hot.
I'm glad I'm in your dreams, buddy.
Absolutely.
It was
man.
like 90 degrees out, maybe
It was,
more.
yeah.
It was pretty brutal. I vote for the next thing we do this month to be inside.
Yeah, we were. No, you know how I know we were there? Because we were finishing up your customer, the one near Randy's house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we finished that chimney flashing. So me and Jeremy were knocking that one out, and so I was hot and sweaty, and they were like, "Okay, let's go to the park and play games and get more hot and sweaty." So
Heyo. Yeah, I was already a mess that day. It was
Same.
so
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we actually right before that, like I said, we recorded this, ate on camera, and then went there. And I'm like, I can't eat anymore. I can't do it. But we had a great time. We do things like this every month. If there's gonna ever be a one where you guys can come out and see us, all maybe I think the last view count we had like 50 something.
It's up to 78.
78.
The power of sharing.
Okay.
I'm sure
There we
most
go.
of them are my family members.
Beautiful.
we'll invite all of Sydney's family to the.
There we
Oh,
go.
man.
So
gonna be wild.
before it was 35, and I think about 35 people work here. So I thought it was everybody that worked here. Now we have what 40-ish more. So of the 40 more people, if there's going to be anything that we can invite the general pub out here to, then awesome. We'd love to see you. But speaking of another event that we like to do. Of course, I bring up the fact that we're all fight fans, all 3 of us here.
What a good segue.
Hey yo, give me some credit, baby. That being said, we ended up going to a lot of UFC shows. We're thinking about doing them here more, which I like because I don't know. We have a big projector here. We have how many grills?
2.
2 grills.
Yeah.
You like to cook. I like to eat.
I also like to eat.
Bingo. So I'm thinking that, like, especially for the bigger card, what is the next big card coming up?
That one I think is O'Malley. No, that was Duplessis. Duplessis versus somebody. Adesanya?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it's
it's
Adesanya.
Adesanya.
We're such fight fans, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Duplessis versus Adesanya, and then
We
I
know
think
our
there's
stuff.
and then because then after that is Noche UFC
Okay.
after Duplessis, and that one's Sean O'Malley,
Mhm.
and then also the third installment of Grasso versus Shevchenko.
Okay.
So that one might be an interesting one.
Absolutely. And I would want to see Duplessis again.
Yeah.
But that being said, I say we do it here. I say if there's any crazy person that actually watches this, wants to come actually watch it with us, should we invite them?
As long as they're not that crazy.
Okay, cool. Well, if they're watching this and
That's-
enjoying it, they
If
might
you're a
be.
fight fan,
Yeah.
comment on the video.
I didn't go to the last one. Where'd you guys end up going?
Well, he didn't. He canceled on me. I had to watch it by myself at home.
I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, and you know
How
what?
was it?
I saw
It
it the
was
day
good.
before him, and I should have ruined it for him so much because he canceled on me.
You
So.
saw
I
it
gave you
too?
Yeah, I saw it,
plenty
yeah.
of time
Oh,
beforehand
man.
that I was not going to be able to make it.
I know, but I was disappointed. I was ready. Like I was meant to. See, the thing is, like, if I know I have an event coming up, I get myself mentally ready. Because
So-
I usually go to bed at 9:00, and so then it's like I'm gonna be up till midnight, so I need to mentally
Uh-huh.
get myself there.
Okay. So I need to know from now on if anything's going to crop up like that. what is the appropriate
I need
amount of time?
about 2-week notice.
A
before
2-week
I even-
notice.
Weeks?
2
Before I
weeks
even
What?
to prevent your heartbreak, dude.
Before I even
The
remember.
card isn't even finalized half the time from there.
Exactly. So I don't even realize that it's a thing happening
Yeah.
until I think it's probably like that Thursday is when I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Saturday's fight
Right.
night. Like, honey, I'm not gonna be home Saturday night. So
Mhm.
Was it worth watching Deadpool?
it
over the-
was.
Yeah, it was good.
It was.
Over the
It was-
Yeah, it was
UFC.
good.
I watched it just recently too.
You did.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we've all seen it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we spoil it for everybody?
Spoiler alert.
Honestly,
Don't be
with a movie
crying.
like this, the only thing is, with a movie like this, the only real spoilers for people are gonna be the cameos. I think.
Yeah.
The plot is so thin,
Yeah.
which it doesn't need to be. You know, a giant, big, you know, heavily overly written plot by any means. But spoiler alert, I think seeing Wesley Snipes on the big screen again added years to my life.
See, I think at that point you do like a little pause, like spoiler alert. And
Yeah, I
then
did that in the
okay,
second
you did-
episode.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
s-
not watch it?
I have a busy life, man.
Wow.
Everybody's
Fake
everybody's
fan.
everybody's calling me.
Wow.
Big fan.
I watched the first one, the pilot one, and
You
noticed a mistake
listened
that,
to it.
Yes, but I listened to it and noticed a mistake that Danny had, and now everybody makes fun of him for it. So
What mistake? Was it
Well,
the 33
no,
gallons?
no. There, little known fact here. Little known fact. And I pulled Pat Moose aside. Hi, Pat. I pulled Pat Moose aside one day, and I had a very serious demeanor and tone, and I go, look. I read up on it, and there was a recent university study that happened that it's an irrefutable fact that it takes 55 gallons of water to soak through the insulation
And you
reach
told
the
this to the
I
big
told
boss.
it to Pat, and he just like, I think those university people were, you know. So, but anyway,
yeah, so no, I mean, I watched the free stuff because I didn't want to be the sad, lonely guy going to Buffalo Wild Wings watching the paid pay-per-view.
I think the
by
only thing
myself,
worse than that
so
is if you went to Golden Corral by yourself.
that would have been really bad.
That's
yeah.
serial
So
killer.
I
That's
watched,
serial killer level.
I've watched the regular prelims and I you know, I'm a sucker for betting on fights, you know, but I got them all right, so I made some money.
So, you made money
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
like French fries.
You're right. You know, Buffalo Wild Wings likes to do this thing where you could pick on which fighter wins. And I was on a hot streak, and I think that night I got 8 free things of tots or French fries.
I remember
But
that.
then
Did you end up going?
I
using,
didn't go back and
Oh.
cash in them because you have to do it within a week.
Yeah, that's a
and
lot of food.
That's a lot of visits to Buffalo Wild
Yeah.
Wings.
I would
and
rather-
no offense to Buffalo Wild Wings,
I would
but
rather
don't wanna
win
go
some
there.
cash, and I did that this past week. So thank you to the UFC for.
Yeah, but to kind of loop back around onto the movie thing, because learning more about you, I guess.
Yuck.
I guess.
I guess you have your own upstart production company, right?
Is there a name?
Yes, Vitali Productions, my film production company.
Hey, though,
Hmm.
there we go. And as someone who's made a film, as someone who is a film fan, what would be, if you could name your favorite film of all time? What would it be?
Do you understand how?
Oh, it's gonna be difficult, but I know I've got one.
You got one? What's
Yeah,
yours?
my favorite film of all time is probably Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Why is that?
I love the way it's shot. It's got a lot of really iconic, you know, scenes. And at the end of the day, I mean, it all goes away like tears in the rain, bud.
Yeah, look, I don't have favorite films. I have favorite moments and techniques used
Okay.
from the ways that people tell stories.
If you had to name 3 films off the top of your head right now that you would recommend everybody watch, what would you say?
Everybody watch.
Mhm.
Okay. Film number 1, everybody should watch Coda.
Okay.
Have you heard of Coda?
No.
Nope.
I think you actually told me about this, but I'm gonna.
Such a good movie.
Mhm.
Do I have to share
ahead.
what it is, or do I
You
just-
can,
Yeah.
if you got to describe it in a
If you
sentence.
want to.
In a sentence, it's an Oscar-winning film that is deaf family, one child in the family's not, wants to go do music, but they need her to help with the family business for legal purposes. So that's a short, very synopsis of it, but
Is
it
that
is
the
so
right
good.
word?
It's based off a true story. It is so good. Great acting, great storytelling. They actually used deaf people as actors. Like they didn't just have people
Oh, I
acting.
think
they
I've
used,
heard of it. Yeah.
So it was phenomenal movie.
Number
with
2.
great techniques. Number 2. Oh, this is putting me right on the spot. Films
that you would anybody watch right now.
Well, let's say it's a film that filmmakers or like aspiring filmmakers can learn from.
aspiring filmmakers can learn
Yeah.
from.
Jaws.
Okay. Jaws. No, I mean it's just those movies, those older style movies that everybody's a fan of. You know, your Star Wars, your Jaws. You know, those again back in those great films back in those days. They just used techniques and filmmaking styles that like when you look at they have what are called matte artists, MATTE artists, and so ultimately what they do is they paint a background, right? And so they did this in Star Wars. So you would paint a ship or a planet or whatever, and then your camera would go up, like you'd put it right in the vision of the camera, and so the camera sees the painting and it looks realistic, and then all your actors have to do is in the frame that's not painted. And so like that was their green screening back in the day, and so now they do it digitally. But that was one of the first times that they've started to do that, and obviously Star Wars was a huge
right
franchise at the
I see. I like that old style analog like filmmaking because especially like with horror movies now, there's not really much. If you got a monster, you don't find these visual effects artists that are doing the analog and costume designers and whatnot. It's mostly done digitally. I don't know, I for me, I like the old style because I feel that limitation is the catalyst for creativity, I think. So
one of the things that I believe on as a filmmaker is that you get your best stuff in camera. So one of the things that film companies are failing at now is most of a film is not in camera, it's in post. It's CGI, it's VFX, it's all of these things. And so what we like to do, great storytelling, and even then it's like your majority of a film is filmed in Vancouver and in a studio, and so like the realistic outdoor feel that you think that they have is just a background of a whatever. So the films that actually go on location and actually you get the experience, like what you're seeing in camera was actually what was gotten in camera, and those are the films that tend to do the best, have the best visuals. And it's.
Are we talking like visuals as in like environment, or are we talking about like more practical effects?
But a little bit of both, because I mean, even then it's like you've got you got virtual effects and you've got SFX, your special effects, and so the SFX are like your makeup artists, and they make it look realistic, but that's still in camera. You're not waiting to post. You're using the lighting and the audio techniques that are in camera, and it gives us a great look. You see those with Star Wars, with Alien, with Predators.
Speaking of, I'm so sorry, in post. Do you know, because we all have to sign, not to cut you off or anything, sorry.
You did, but that's fine.
Sorry. In post though, we all have to sign a waiver to like be filmed. Do you know that there is technically an addendum to Shawn Michaels where if he's filmed by Moose, we have to put abs on him?
Oh, man, you said it in a serious tone. I was getting really nervous.
Shirt? Like he's got a shirt on and we have to put abs on his shirt?
No matter what, he has to have abs anytime he's on camera.
That's amazing.
So, sorry. You said something about editing and post. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Have you not done that? Is he gonna?
I actually have.
He was
surprise.
on the last episode, was he not?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't remember. He's gonna watch this.
He could sue us.
He's gonna watch this and he's gonna come.
Man.
He could
we
sue
fed
us.
him too.
Oh no. Okay.
Anyways.
I don't have any addendums like that in mind, so
I
make
should
me
have.
fat, make me, Thor if need be.
I should have something like that, but I didn't. But it'd be a lot of work because I'm on camera a lot. Anyway,
Yeah.
but to go back to your thing, whenever it comes to the getting it on film, because I don't want to go off too long here in terms of, oh man, because I could talk film all day. I
Same.
think we
Yeah.
all could talk film all day.
Probably, yeah.
And we would probably start another podcast for that. But I agree with you in terms of being on site, being, in a lot, not all of it, but a lot of Game of Thrones is filmed in
It's
Czech Republic.
is it?
I think it is.
It's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in Europe.
I was a
But-
huge fan of that show. So.
Yeah, you weren't?
No.
Okay. Well, everybody makes mistakes. We still forgive you. That being said, I'm with you on that front because I love being on site or being on location, and then of course having I'm a practical effects guy.
Have you seen the original The Thing?
That is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Awesome.
So good.
I watched it not too long ago. Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, but I agree. There is an art to the VFX side of things too. But man, it's just like I said. I think the limitation being the catalyst of creativity on that front for sure. I want you to take a moment and plug whatever you've got going on.
Plug?
Yeah,
I have anything to plug. I don't do.
You
I
have-
Don't do, I
you
don't
have
do
a
it to get paid. I don't do it to get paid.
then don't get
Yeah.
paid. But like, if you want more people to watch your stuff,
Yeah, go to
Where can they find
go
you?
to Vitali Productions on YouTube. Our 2 award-winning films from Paris and
Wow.
London and Tokyo. The most
Dang.
recent
I don't do
one
this to get paid. I don't want to get recognition. And then he lists off
are
all
on
the
there.
awards.
One of them I was the producer of, so I just put everything together and made sure they looked good. And the other one I was the main lead in. So
Oh.
yeah, so if you want to see my acting skills outside of this great
Did you cry?
improv I've done, I did have
Wow,
to
you
cry.
can cry on
yeah, I
cue.
can.
I remember all the goddamn memories. And it fucking haunts me. I want to forget. How do I forget? Time.
I need to really get in the mindset, but yes.
I can sweat on cue. Anyway,
Smolder.
either way that goes, I have been hot and sweaty. He's been Andrew. She's been Cindy.
With
This
my
is
space buns.
is that a running theme now? Are you going to keep going with that?
I don't know. It seems like every Friday I just have my space buns on.
Space buns.
It's not planned. I just look in the mirror. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna put some space buns on.
Well, next week you're going to see more space buns. Hopefully, I won't be as hot and sweaty.
You should do a different hairstyle each time. Just completely different.
You
wacky,
see,
like-
I try to, but I'm just so lazy in the morning. I just want to cause I have curly hair. I just do my scrunch and I'm out the door.
We'll just do it in the bathroom here, nice.
Oh man.
It takes me hours to do my hair and makeup in the
Oh,
morning.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I bet,
It's rough.
that beard just needs to get groomed every day.
Every day, baby.
Mm.
You know it. But we've been us. You've been you. Why are you here? Good question. But come back. We'd love to see you again. This has been MooseCast, episode 3. I'm just gonna do one of these raw here. But she wears short skirts. I wear t-shirts.
Very emotional.
Yes. She's cheer
Inspiring.
captain, and I'm on the bleachers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Somebody finish that. Do you know the rest of the song?
Never.
You've never heard of Taylor Swift.
Thinking about the days.
Keep going.
That's all I got.
I don't know.
And
I
that's all.
think-
And that's all we have. Perfect segue.
Don't quote me.
MooseCast, episode 3. Smooches, love you. Bye.
Wait, we forgot to do our socials.
You cut
Can you
me
just
Wait,
put
let-
like an
let-
image of that? Like,
Yeah, let's.
I must say the only
let's-
thing I listen to is The Greatest Showman, just on repeat.
Okay.
Huh.
So, when it comes to the outro here, are we trading off or are we having him do
Yeah.
it?
What? I don't know what
We
I'm
should-
doing.
You just say, make sure you like, subscribe.
Yeah, where do you
comment on
find
YouTube.
Moose? No, don't tell him. Where do you
Okay.
find Moose? Where can you find Moose?
I usually hop into my Moose branded truck and then I drive down Q Street.
On the
and
internet.
then- oh, on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you just look up mooseroofing.com, boom.
Okay.
If you go to our YouTube, is it Moose Roofing on YouTube? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to LinkedIn, we've got.
Oh, LinkedIn.
Yeah, do we have?
I
Moose
haven't-
Roofing
I haven't
LinkedIn?
plugged
Or
that
is
one,
just
but-
Sales Assist.
Yeah.
We'll do both. Sales
Yeah.
Assist, Moose Roofing. If
Sales
we, yeah.
assist. Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Moose Roofing Facebook. So, I know I've seen a lot of your stuff on there. Instagram. Do we have Instagram?
Yes.
We have Instagram. Moose Roofing Instagram.
We do not have TikTok
No
yet.
TikTok, Snapchat.
I'm working on it.
Can our customers snap us yet?
That'd be awesome. The amount of snaps. What's wrong with my roof?
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. So no, I think that's every day. I just wake up in the morning, making sure that those socials are still there and active, and I can like anything new. But
That's like my job.
the most important thing for you guys to help out with this right here with our podcast, and hopefully you guys are gonna put this somewhere, right? Is this airing on Apple Podcast, Spotify?
Yeah, actually, I'm working on it.
Working on it.
Yeah.
Fantastic, because I love to listen to it. It would be great if you guys comment maybe your favorite movie. If you're a UFC fan, you want to come join us, kind of start a conversation with us, like it, share it. That helps more than you think. So
Yeah, sharing is caring. The power of sharing. Anyways,
Once again, find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm so good at this. TikTok in the future for the Gen Z owners of homes, and in your heart. At this point, we've been Moose Roofing. Once again, I've been hot and sweaty. We're gonna do this final outro here. You guys ready? Who are you?
I'm Andrew.
I'm Cindy.
And this has been MooseCast, episode 3. Smooches. Love you. Bye-bye.